today I'm going to be making baked macaroni and cheese. Let's get started. I'm going to let you know what we need. We need a stick of butter that is going to be melted, a cup of half and half, 1 cup or 4 ounces of Monterey Jack cheese shredded, 1 cup or 4 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese shredded, 1 cup of MUNSTER cheese shredded. That's going to be one that's going to be hard to find shredded, so you might have to go ahead and shred that yourself or buy slices and cut it up. You're going to need 1 cup of mild cheddar cheese shredded, 8 ounces of VELVEETA cut in cubes, about a half a teaspoon of salt, about a teaspoon of pepper, 1 egg, and 1 pound of elbow noodles. All right, so now you want to preheat the oven to 350 degrees, and I've already got some water on the stove that's boiling, so we'll go ahead and get our noodles going, and you only want to cook those for about 7 minutes. You just want them al dente. You don't want to overcook them because they'll finish cooking in the oven. Also, you want a bowl and a 13 by 9 baking dish that I have sprayed with some Pam. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if there's any recipes you guys would like to see, make sure you leave a comment below and I will make sure to get that going. All right, guys, let's put our noodles in. Just make sure they don't stick on the bottom. You could add maybe a little bit of oil to this, but I don't. I just make sure I stir it and then let it boil for 7 minutes. I'm gonna set my timer now. All right, give me just a minute and I'll be back whenever those noodles are boiled, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and melt my butter and get ready. All right, guys, be right back. I have melted my butter now. The noodles are still cooking. We have about 3 minutes left, and I also kind of scrambled my egg. Basically, now what you're gonna do with this bowl is we're just gonna add all our cheeses together, okay? So like, this is the cup of Monterey Jack. And don't worry, guys, if you didn't catch an ingredient, it will be in the description below. That way you know exactly what I'm using and exactly what I'm doing. You can buy these already shredded. I shred them myself, but the only one, like I said, that you're gonna have a hard time finding shredded already is gonna be your MUNSTER cheese. For some reason, they just don't have that one already shredded. It would make my life a little easier if they did, but another reason I kind of like to shred them myself is it doesn't have that powder coating on it. That's fine. All right, so now that we got all our cheeses together, basically I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna kind of stir it up a little. You want to stir all the shredded cheeses up, leaving the VELVEETA out. This macaroni and cheese is perfect for any occasion. You really don't need an excuse to make it. Barbecues, Thanksgiving, any really reason. If your family likes baked mac and cheese or any macaroni and cheese, this is a perfect one for it. I promise. If you make this one, you will not be disappointed. It is flavorful, it's cheesy. It is so good. All right, now that we have our cheeses all kind of mixed together, let's see. We've got about a minute left on the clock for our noodles to boil. And I'm not sure if I said, but you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, which I've already got mine preheated. Basically, now we just sit and wait. So give me about a minute and I'll be right back, okay? Okay, guys, our noodles are done boiling. I just turned them off, and basically I'm just going to take them over to the sink and get them strained out. I'm going to just drain the water, again, 7 minutes, because you don't want to overcook your noodles. They're going to finish cooking in the oven. All right, now that I got them drained, you're just going to pour them directly into your 13x9 baking dish. And we have already greased that. I just sprayed some cooking oil in there. All right, there's the noodles. And then now we're gonna just take that stick of melted butter and we're just gonna pour that right on over it. Okay, the butter has been melted. That's 1 stick of melted butter. And then also at this point, you're gonna take your 1 cup of half and half and kind of pour that in. I like to let this sit a little bit because it kind of, the noodles kind of soak up that half and half. So you just kind of stir it up, make sure it gets all coated with that half and half. And then also at this phase is where you're going to take your 1 egg and you're going to kind of pour that in and make sure you mix that up real well. That half and half makes it extra creamy as well. It is so good. Everybody that has ever had this macaroni and cheese has loved it. I even had a friend of mine, I take it to work sometimes, I'll make it for any occasion, but I took it to work and one of the girls said she could swim in it. So, all right, we're gonna do the half a teaspoon of salt and the teaspoon of pepper. And if you want less salt or more pepper or less, you know, you can add it as you like. You don't have to do as much as we do, but we like a lot of pepper because that's what gives it that flavor and gives it that extra kick. You know, the difference between just a regular macaroni and cheese and a well-seasoned mac and cheese will definitely be, there's a huge difference. The seasoned is definitely the one that I'm gonna pick every single time. All right, so now that we've got all that, I kind of let that sit for just a second. Not really that long. I mean, once you start adding those cheeses in, it'll start kind of mixing all together, but you see how there's kind of quite a bit of liquid at the bottom? You don't really want that. You want to just kind of let it sit and kind of soak up that half and half. Eggs, salt and pepper, and all that good stuff. So basically, this would be the time that you could mix up your cheeses while you're just kind of letting that sit for a minute. I'm just gonna stir these up just a little bit more. So whenever you add your cheeses, you're only gonna add about 3/4 of this bowl into it because you want some to leave for the topping because that is what gets golden brown and bubbly, and then your noodles don't get all crispy. It is so good, I'm telling you. I'm not gonna worry too much about how much I have left. Okay, so now, I know I haven't really let it sit that long, but it's already starting to soak in really nicely. So I'm gonna take my cheeses, and I'm just gonna start spooning it in. I'll get it a little closer so I don't make a huge mess. Last time I went to go make this, I almost forgot the egg. Thankfully I forgot before it was too late. Like I said, about 3/4 of what's in the bowl. Without making a mess, which it happens sometimes. All right, that's good. Now, basically, you're just gonna kind of stir that in. See how much less juice there already is in that? Just wait till the cheese gets all in there, and then you have hardly any of that half and half left because it's all kind of mixed well into the noodles and it's soaked in. Whenever you cook your noodles al dente, they're kind of like sponges because they still are trying to cook. All right, guys. I'll be right back, okay? Okay, now that that cheese is all nice and stirred in, this is where you're gonna take your Velveeta cheese. I'm just gonna get the rest of that cheese off of that spatula. My hands are clean, so I'm just gonna use my hands for this part because you can't really use a fork or anything. So you're just gonna take your Velveeta and you're gonna push it in. Just kind of push it in wherever there's none. I start with like a little row and then I put it where I feel like it needs it. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if there's any recipes you'd like to see, make sure you leave a comment below. We're going to be doing all type of great recipes, so make sure you also turn on the notifications so you don't miss out. See, now I just kind of put them wherever because you can only do the line for so long and then you have all this extra cheese. All right, 3 more. There's 1 there. All right, perfect. Now that we've got the Velveeta in it, now we're just gonna take the rest of the cheese and we're gonna top it, which I'm just gonna also again do with my hands because I just like to kind of sprinkle it on over. So you just take it, and it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be pretty, it's gonna all melt. And the final product is, oh my gosh, so good. Okay, that is what you're looking for right there before we go in the oven. We're gonna bake it for about 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and put it in the oven. You just leave it uncovered, and I'm gonna set my timer for 30 minutes. You just want it to be nice and golden brown and bubbly around the edges. So we'll let that cook for 30 minutes and then I'll be right back, guys, okay? All right, bye. Okay, guys, we got about a couple seconds until that mac and cheese is done, and we will see what we have. There it is. This is what we got. Get in and get a good look. You see how it's bubbly around the edges? Go in for it. Oh, it's so creamy. We are going to taste it, but first, I would like to get a picture of it, okay? All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what is left. I got my pictures. You want to serve this while it's hot. Well, it's nice and melty and gooey. I'm just gonna get a little bit just to try. And then I'll serve my family. My kids, I'm sure, are hungry right now, so. All right, that is the final product. Oh, yum. All right, let's try it. Serve it while it's hot. Not too hot, because this is going to be hot. All right. So good. Just the right amount of cheese, salt and pepper. Oh my gosh, this is so good. All right, guys, let me know what you think after you cook it. Leave a comment, like and subscribe, okay? Bye, guys.